Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about friendships, and this is going to be based around questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. Make sure you follow my Instagram, link will be below and on the screen right now. But yeah, so I'm going to try and get you guys involved in these kind of videos. I want to make this a series, not about friendships but just about girl chats in general. So yeah, I'm hoping you guys enjoy this. I'm trying to make my channel a bit more personable, obviously still having the stupid funny videos in there with my friends or just with me on my own, that kind of stuff, but I also want to flip it a bit more serious every now and then, because you know, I feel like I have hopefully some good advice that I want to share with you guys. There is a lot, like a lot of questions. Whoa, oh my gosh. The first question is how to distance yourself from someone in the same friendship group as you. This one is very difficult to do because obviously being in a friendship group you kind of have to be friends with everyone in that group, but I think the problem for a lot of people is, and like still me, like I'm not gonna say like, oh like I am like so good at cutting people off, like it's scary, like I'm amazing at it. No, I still struggle to like tell people how I feel and confront people about things. Like I'm not a very confronting person. Even though I am confident, I am not confident to the point where I can just call someone out on something, you know? I have been able to do it in the past few months. I guess my confidence has built it up. Okay, well, first of all, friendship groups. Probably the most toxic things you can ever be in. If it's in the wrong friendship group, it can be incredibly toxic, and I feel like a lot of you guys will understand that. But being a teenager, it's very difficult to like not be in one, because when you're in school especially, you're automatically going to make friends with a certain group of people than another group, so therefore you're going to form a group around the people that you get along with. There will be a lot of arguments, there will be a lot of people talking about this person, that person, oh my gosh you said this and that, I can't believe this. There's going to be fights, there's going to be all this stuff. Whether or not they're in a friendship group, you should still confront any person individually who is making you feel any sort of way. If they're bullying you, if they're leaving you out, because even if they're in your friendship group, you don't owe your friendship group anything, because if it's making you feel upset, they shouldn't be mad at you for confronting someone in that group. Hopefully they don't. If they do, then they're equally as bad as a friend than the other person. In terms of cutting them off, don't cut them off straight away. Confront them first, because you don't know how they're going to respond. They may respond saying, oh my gosh, I didn't even realise that's how I was treating you, I'm really sorry, and it be like actually genuine. Or they could get very arrogant and like not want to admit that that's how they're treating you, or they may turn the tables on you and make you feel bad for the reason why they're treating you like that, which is very toxic. Me personally, I've grown up now to realize that friendship groups don't mean anything, nothing. It's not even about the group for me, it's about the people that I like within my friendship group, and it just turned out that we became a group, if that makes sense. It's not like we formed a group and no one can go outside of that group, like you're stuck in this group. It's not like that. You shouldn't live your life based off of a group, you should live your life based off of individual friends that you enjoy spending time with. Okay, so the next question is, what should you do if you feel like your friends are moving distant and like people have said like drifting away from your best friend kind of thing? And I think this one's is complicated to like accept, but it's easy to understand. So I think a lot of the time when you move away from a best friend or you're drifting away from someone, it's literally just down to the fact that you've both grown up. A lot of people have made friendships from a very young age, and it's not like it's their fault or your fault, it's just that you've grown up differently, it's just that you've matured differently. But I think it's just difficult for a lot of people to understand that friends don't last forever. And I know people always go about like, oh, if this person hasn't been friends with someone for longer than 3 years, then they're a toxic person, and that's a red flag. I have not had a friend for longer than 3 years. Like, that's just me. That's not because I'm toxic, that's not because I fell out with people, that's not because it was a problematic friendship. I mean, some of them were, but a lot of it is just down to the fact that you just move on, you move schools, you move cities, life happens, you know what I mean? Life does get in the way of things that you don't want it to get in the way with, but you just kind of have to accept it. And obviously you can message them or like talk to them in person and say, hey, like, what's going on, if you do think there is a reason for why you guys aren't speaking anymore. But if you think it's just literally down to like drifting apart and you don't know why, I think it may just be down to the simple fact that you are both growing up, and it's hard to accept that, I know, but you will meet new friends. It's not saying that you don't have to ever speak to them again, but it's just maybe you guys shouldn't be as close as you were. Okay, whoa. This was a fan page that said this. They said, if your friend always fat shames you to the point where it gets hurtful, what do you do? That is not your friend. That is not your friend. I don't understand friends that really feel the need to pick on someone's appearance. Like, they probably are already insecure about it already, and you saying that to them is going to make it 10 times worse. You know what I mean? Like, it's horrible. Like, that is a horrible thing to do. That doesn't help the friendship anyway. That doesn't help the person anyway either. Definitely recommend you just cut that person off. They should not even be in your life. That is going to be very difficult to cut them off, but fat shaming, that is a big deal. Like, I don't even think confronting it is going to help the friendship. Like, you shouldn't be friends with someone like that in general. Like, I don't really think there's any excuses for someone fat shaming. Okay, whoa. What do you do if your friends are toxic and two-faced? Toxic friends are literally like not even worth your time. Like, I've had to cut off toxic people before, and there's no reason why you should still be friends with them. Any friendship that you are constantly walking on eggshells with, that is a friendship that needs to go. Like, I literally have known people before where I'm almost scared to say anything because I feel like they're gonna attack me. Like, why would you be friends with someone like that? Because it's not benefiting you or them in any way, shape or form. Maybe it benefits them, maybe it entertains them that you are like upset from what they're doing, but that's even worse. Oh, someone said, what do I need to do to become your friend? That is so cute. They also said, does age matter in a group of BFFs? No, not at all, not at all. My friends range from just turned 16 to 18, and they're all friends. Like, Tanea is 18, Essie just turned 16. So I definitely don't agree with friendship groups being based around ages, because we get along like way more than if I was just friends with people in just my year. Someone said, what's bad qualities in a friendship? Whoa, okay, I'm gonna go ham on this. So, bad qualities in a friendship. If they don't support you, that is the biggest thing for me. If someone doesn't support things you do, even if it's just things to do with school, even if it's just things to do with like supporting you when you're sad, supporting you when you have something going on in your life, you know what I mean? If they don't support you or they don't even care to ask, like when people just want to talk about themselves, that's very toxic as well, and that's something that you definitely need to avoid in a friendship. When people are constantly talking about other people, that is not good, especially at our age. I don't know how old this person was. I'm not saying I don't ever gossip, obviously I gossip, but when it's like that's all you have to talk about, that is like really boring for me, for one. Secondly, if they're always starting beef with someone or they're always in arguments, that kind of is foreshadowing how your friendship is going to end. Don't think that they're not going to be problematic with you. Like, that's happened with me before. I've met problematic people and they've ended up being problematic with me, but I've been like, oh, they won't do that to me. Well, yes, they did, and I had to cut them off, right? If they're constantly bringing you down, obviously, as I just talked about, even if they're doing it to other people as well, even if it's not happening to you firsthand, but they're constantly bullying someone else who you know, or I don't know, they're always talking about how they've been rude to someone, that is not good, because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I want to be around people that are actually nice people. So yeah. Also, if someone only makes effort with you when they have an issue, like they only want to talk to you because they want you to give them advice or they want someone to rant to, that's not a good thing either. People that always have their guard up, people that always want to make you feel insecure because they want to raise themselves up. If I have toxic friends but they are the only friends that I have, should I still drop them? Yes. I think I've gotten to the point in my life where if I lost all my friends, I would be sad, not gonna lie, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Obviously my friends that I have now, I'll be very sad about, but if they end up turning toxic on me, I wouldn't be sad about it, because in my eyes anyway, I would rather have no friends and make new friends up in like over time that aren't toxic than keep my new friends, not make any more friends, and just be sad all day because of how I'm being treated. Like, you're gonna be able to focus on yourself so much more if you cut off people that aren't benefiting you whatsoever. But I don't think you should just end the friendship out of nowhere like when nothing's happened, like on good terms. You know what I mean? You have to do it when they've done something wrong, so you can just call them out for it and say, hey, that's not good. If they don't take it in a good way, then that's your cue to leave. If they want to work on it with you, I don't know how toxic these people are. If they're like only minorly toxic, and they want to work on it with you and like help the friendship, whatever, then yeah, do that. But if they're really extremely toxic and they're just like arrogant when you bring it up, go get out of that friendship as soon as possible. Okay, whoa, this one. Should you still be friends with someone who is friends of your enemy? Okay, well, I can relate. If you're really close friends with them and you feel like you can trust them, then yeah, still be friends with them. But if you don't feel like you can trust them and you feel like they're going to be talking about you behind your back, or things will get twisted on what you've said to them, blah blah, like about this person, maybe avoid it. I'm not saying don't be friends with them in general, but maybe don't be as close with them. But it all depends on the situation. If the situation is really bad and it's the point, I don't know, where they've called you fat, or they have called you out in front of the whole school, or they have made really bad rumours about you, and your friends are still friends with that person, I don't think you should be friends with them, because that is really bad. Naturally, if you're friends with someone who hates your friend, they're going to bring that person up all the time because they know you can relate, they know you know the person, blah blah, and that is annoying. They clearly don't have anything else to do in their life. If your friend doesn't back you in situations like that, then they're not your real friend. Just passively accept everything that this person is saying about you, even if it's not true. They are not a real friend, because a real friend, even if they still want to be friends with that person, they wouldn't allow that person to talk smack about you. Do you know what I mean? Me and my ex-bestie just broke up. How do I bounce back? And how do I ignore her? Depends if you go to the same school as her. If you go to the same school, I feel like it's a lot more difficult, but I don't know about other people, but I am really good at ignoring people. I am so good at just pretending they're not even there. If you're someone who does struggle to like ignore people or like pretend that they're not there, I think maybe for like the first week or so, not avoid them, but like try not to be in the same room as them or very close to them, because if you're physically distant from them, it's going to make it easier than if you're like in the same room next to each other all the time. Also, how to bounce back.
You got it, girl. You know, you got it.
If you feel like that friendship was toxic, or you feel like you're better off without them, flip that and use the loss of the friendship as a gain. So like obviously that you don't have anyone making you feel insecure anymore. Work on yourself and make yourself not feel insecure within yourself and not rely on other people. If someone's generally just being a toxic person, if you've broke off from them, become friends with people who aren't toxic, or realize you don't even need friends to validate you in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, people can see when you are focusing on yourself. Self-love is something that shows out you even saying that you're glowing. Like, when you're focusing on yourself, you're not even going to notice her. When you walk past her, you're going to be focusing on how to make yourself happy. You're going to make new friends that want you to be happy, that you want them to be happy. You're going to create a little amazing friendship group or amazing person within yourself. You're not even going to care about the people that don't care about you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't give them any more attention. So I would just like to conclude this video by saying that friends are a very important thing in your life, and they always will be, but I'm not saying they will always be perfect. I'm saying that you will go through loads of arguments with friends, you'll fall out with people, you will go through times where you might not even have friends. You need to realize that a lot of people aren't worth your time, and I'm seeing in a lot of these questions that people are struggling to cut off people that are very toxic towards them, and that is sad, because a friend is someone who you can go to when you're sad. A friend is someone who will support you when you're down. A friend is someone who wants to make you feel good about yourself, you know what I mean? But if a friend is someone who's doing the complete opposite of that, they're not a friend, they're just someone who's in your life and you need to get rid of. Simple as. Obviously, being younger and being in school and the whole thing about caring about what other people think, that always comes into a play of whether you cut someone off or not. And like the fact of having friends in general, like that worries people if they don't have any friends. If you would like some advice on friends and on life in general, make sure you watch my 17 things I learned at the age of 17, because I went through this stuff in a lot more depth than like fake friends, and how people who don't support you can be a very bad thing in life. So if you are someone who needs help, needs inspiration, needs motivation to cut off people like that, definitely check out that video, because I think it will help you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like me to talk about any other things like girly chat stuff, leave it in the comment section below. I might do a relationship one soon, but like I don't know if I'm good at relationships. I mean, I haven't got a boyfriend, so that obviously shows something, but I will try. I'll make the most effort possible. I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye!